What's up, fight fans? Welcome to my channel. This is Johnny, and today we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning a possible clash at 147 between Jaron Boots Ennis and Teofimo Lopez. Guys, I usually don't do videos like this on strictly speculation, but this morning, news is breaking around some of the major boxing sites online about a potential clash between Jaron Ennis and a few different high-level caliber opponents at 140 pounds, and it's coming from Boots Ennis's camp. So before I get into it specifically, I want to say, as a huge Jaron Ennis fan, and I know a lot of you guys who love boxing could definitely attest to this based on his talent, his record, how he goes about his business, we could definitely just admit that any news coming out of his camp is good news. All we've heard of late has been crickets. Nothing. We haven't seen him fight since the Villa fight. There has been speculation that he wanted to be mandatory for Bud, but we know Bud's not taking that fight at 47. So this morning, his coach, Stephen Edwards, is reporting that they're working on Boots Ennis to stay at 147 and wait on some of the young champions at 140 to move up. He name drops Devin Haney, Subriel Matias, and Teofimo Lopez. And here lies in the crux of the video. Today, we're going to be talking about a potential clash between Teofimo Lopez and Jaron Ennis. How we're going to go about this is we're going to break each fighter down individually. We're going to go and rewind the clock back to their last 5 opponents. We're then going to grab our calculators out and tally up their opponent's win-loss record on the night that they fought each fighter. This is going to give us a statistic that we call strength of schedule, and we'll be able to have a little bit of factual information, some statistics to talk about when comparing Lopez and Ennis. We know they're not in the same division. We already spoke about that. This is strictly coming from the speculation of what if. The stats that we get are under the category of what have you done for me lately. We're going to be able to find out, has Teo and Jaron been fighting high-level competition, or have they been fighting down to their opponents? Before we get into that, we are going to talk about Teofimo Lopez and some of the facts that we already know. We know he's a 140-pound fighter. We know that he's 20-1 with 13 knockouts. That gives him a career 65% win-loss ratio per knockout. He is the number 2 super lightweight in the world. At 26 years old, he stands at 5'8" with a 68-inch reach. He is an orthodox fighter, lives in Las Vegas, but proudly represents his hometown of Brooklyn, New York, and he is the WBO super lightweight world champion. Let's rewind the clock 5 fights ago when he fought George Kambosos. Kambosos was 19-0. Teo lost a split decision. Campa, 34-1, knockout in the 7th. Martin, 40-2, split decision victory in the 10th. Taylor, 19-0, UD in the 12th. Ortiz, 17-1, UD in the 12th. Let's grab our calculators. All those numbers add up to a career win-loss record of his opponents, 129 wins with only 4 losses. That gives Lopez a 97% strength of schedule over his last 5. He is 4-1 with 1 knockout, that one coming against Campa. Let's turn the page real quick and focus on Jaron Ennis's path over his last 5. Some facts about Boots we already know. He is a 147-pound fighter. He's 31-0 with 28 knockouts, giving him a shiny and sparkly 90% knockout to win ratio. He is currently ranked number 5 in the world at welterweight. He's also 26 years old, standing though at 5'10" with a 74-inch reach. He's an orthodox fighter residing proudly from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Boots is the IBF interim welterweight champion. If we rewind his resume back 5 fights ago, he fought Lipinets, 16-1, knockout in the 6th. Delorme, 25-5, knockout in the 1st. Clayton, 19-0, knockout in the 2nd. Chukachin, 21-1, UD in the 12th. Villa, 26-1, knockout in the 10th. Keep those calculators nearby. Let's add those win-loss records up, and that gives us a record of 107 wins with only 8 losses, giving Boots Ennis a win-loss ratio strength of schedule of 93%. Over his last 5, He is obviously 5-0 with 4 knockouts. So when we think about superstar fights, when we think about these matchups, boxing, the weight classes are near each other for a reason. 140 to 147, then you jump up to 54, then you jump up to 60. So traditionally, we see fighters who float from multiple weight classes, think Canelo, and going up and down, wanting, or shall I say, daring to be great. This video does have some relevance because you're hearing the speculation come from Boots' camp. We want to see Ennis fight. Lopez is coming off a shaky decision over Ortiz. He didn't look like himself. He didn't look that great, and he has spoken about in the past of wanting to move up. What better matchup to make? Could you imagine that arena selling out Teofimo Lopez versus Jaron Ennis? When we look at the age, they're exactly the same age. Ennis is going to be the naturally bigger guy, 5'10" versus 5'8". He's also going to be the longer guy, 74-inch reach versus 68-inch reach. And I got to give the power to Ennis as well. He's a knockout artist. So would Lopez be risking a lot? Yes. But Lopez also says from his own mouth, he wants to be great. And the only way to be great and to cement a legacy is by taking fights like this. The era before this modern era did this all the time. This is an exciting thought experiment to have, a Jaron Ennis versus Teofimo Lopez fight. If this were to go down, who you guys siding with? The Takeover or Boots? Let me know in the comment section below.